save your soul. Oh, that mean green, almighty bananas. Bananas. People don't let bananas. Don't let bananas change you, almighty bananas. People don't let changing bend money. Ooh, just changing, make you bananas. Bananas, baby. Good morning, everybody. People don't let bananas. Don't let bananas change you, almighty bananas. You're in a zoo. People don't let bananas. Don't let bananas change you, almighty zoo. Raw Chow Zoo. Good morning, everybody. Hang on. Just changing, make up your mind. I don't even know half the words. People don't let bananas. Don't let bananas change you. You're in a zoo. And they print those damn bananas. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? They print the bananas, baby. They print the bananas. I try to tell people all the damn time. I got mine right here. We in a zoo, and ain't enough of us, and they never print enough bananas for people. Why? Because they keep you in conflict with one another. And I'm trying to tell you. This is my bus stop. I'm about to leave. I posted a video from sister this morning. I think this is my bus stop. I don't know. I want to go, but I know I can't go. It's not time to go yet. Long as I'm here, I got to do my last little bit of good. And when I'm done, my time is up, I'm out. I'm out. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to try to keep it light today, but I do got to say one thing about yesterday. I got one piece of analysis that who was the sister got me thinking along that line. Sister Elaine Buddha Jenkins. What's her last name? Scarparo. She made a post and I was like, oh, who is that? Danielle? Danielle ain't too close from Hollywood. I guess I don't live in the world that most people live in. I think most things are orchestrated. I think most things are planned. I think you got pandemics and you got planned exterminations. I got to say something about yesterday. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? How come the music is low? Let me turn it up. Doom, doom. Who we got? Got a bunch of people this morning. Let me get my comments. This is going to be weird. I had to get a new case for my phone. Oh, yeah. You know what? They print the bananas. They print the money. But bananas grow on trees and so does money. Oh, boy. I tell you what. Passionate people. Don't let your passion fool you. Don't let your passion fool you. Always stay calm. Elaine said it. Hang on. I forgot her exact post, but let me bring up the comments real quick. She just basically, she said something and had me thinking, like in terms of reaction. I try not to be a reactionary person. I try to just pay attention to what's going on. And I try to think about, well, okay, I get that happened and that pisses me off, but what do they want me to do? How do they want me to react? And I usually won't do it because the reaction that they want, usually the reaction I did the last time, which is why they probably did it again, which is why I shouldn't do it again. That's called being controlled. And plus you're in a zoo and they print the money. They print the damn money. Don't let the money fool you. You are in a debt-based society designed to keep the zoo entertaining for billionaires and trillionaires. If you are fighting the police state, please do not listen to the flustate. All right, if you're fighting the police state and the flustate, they walked in the door together. They came in the zoo together. They did. If somebody go to the zoo cameras and you look at the front of the door, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Mellons and Carnegies and all them bastards and came in, they came in together. In the police state and the flustate, they were holding hands. They was holding hands. There's no difference between the police state and the flustate. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is just an initiative to roll out and militarize the police states, what they're always doing. And it has to do with banks and money and control and slavery and plantations. You are on a tax plantation. You are not in a nation. You literally don't have a government. You got a corporation. It was Elaine. Yes, Lori, thank you. It was Elaine Scarpa. Buddha Jenkins said it. She just said, hey, just focus on what's happening. You can see what's happening and then think about your reaction and think about the people who have happened it. And if you can think about the reaction they want from you, then you need to do something different. Remain calm. You are in the zoo. Don't do nothing for the love of bananas. I gotta show you this. Well, I'm not gonna show you the second video. I can't, because I can't watch it. Can't watch it. I'm a punk. I'm a punk. That heart in my chest is real and it beat like hell. I don't have one of them farts. You know what a fart is? It's a fake heart. I don't have one of those. I got a real heart beating in my chest. Doesn't matter who it is. I see anybody shared, shot, killed, whether it's Lavoy Finicum, Waco, Texas, Ruby Ridge. I keep saying Chris Gardner. Chris Gardner was the brother that was running in California up to Washington and Maine. And the other one was Eric Gardner. I look at all of them. Trayvon Martin, all of them. And it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing to me, but I don't have a fake heart, a fart. I got a heart. I got a real heart. Starts with H. I can't even watch it. Sister sent me a great video on Instagram where it was a man just doing a poem with a knee on his neck, talking about he can't breathe, he's got 2 children, he doesn't want to cry. And you know what? Just even thinking about it, it bothers me because I have a real heart. Anyway, what I gotta do? I got my banana or my coffee. Let me get my coffee, because you got to get your banana before your coffee, because half of the reason that's why y'all got the flu, because you don't know what to eat. Eat your raw food first before you drink your coffee or any other carcinogens. All they're trying to do right now is the same thing they did with the war on drugs. They banned plants. Why would somebody ban a plant? Well, if it gives you health, you got to get rid of it. Why? Because it's an organization that's coming along called the medical industry, and they only make money if you're not healthy. So you got to get rid of the plants. The same thing they're doing right now. They're criminalizing flu season. So back then they criminalized plants. Now they are criminalizing the flus and the viruses. Why? Because you all get them, which means you're all criminals. Which is what happened in the beginning of time since America began. They've been writing laws to criminalize everybody. They got everybody. Everybody's a criminal, which means they can treat you how they want. And it's not really even about making you a criminal, because it doesn't really matter. You don't have a government, you have a corporation, and people are upset. Hopefully they figure out that they're in a zoo and they only put enough bananas in the cage to keep everybody fighting. There's some people on the bottom, and socioeconomically, the people on the bottom are going to get it worse. And you can focus on the identity of that person if you would like to. Me personally, I don't. My interest is, it's a zoo. It's a damn zookeeper coming in here throwing bananas. We see he has a basket. He only throws in enough bananas for a few monkeys, and he goes to the next cage. We need to be fighting the fence. We need to be breaking down the zoo. The system needs to come down. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I think I said everything I had to say in just like a minute right there. I'm gonna read comments. Let me change the music. Good morning. But anyway, for the love of bananas, hashtag that ball of zoo life. We are in the zoo. We're in the zoo. We're either going to act like it or we're not. We're going to attack the fence. What was it? The velociraptors? Y'all remember Jurassic Park? What did the velociraptors do? Who they attack? They attacked the fence. Isn't that what the man said? Isn't that what Malcolm said? He said, you know, you turn around and the other dude, and he's just like, you know, the velociraptors, they're the smartest ones in the zoo. When we're not around, they're attacking the fence. And they're trying to find weaknesses in the electric fence to get the hell out. Is anybody looking for a weakness? Or y'all looking at other monkeys to fight because the monkey got a bigger banana than you? That's in my analogy. I'm not gonna say nothing else on that. If you can figure out what that means, I'm happy for you. Good morning, Travis and Christine and Tony. That ape there has a clear world view. Probably not much conflict in his mind. No, that's a calm one. Travis, I was gonna post the one of the not calm ones. The only problem is they were copyrighted, and they're copyrighted for the love of money, but that's the same discussion, but a different discussion. No, this monkey is calm. He's just kind of sitting back, riding it out. I think this monkey doesn't realize. I got the evidence, Travis, so let me show you. Hang on, I got the evidence. They print the money. They literally print them. Here, the evidence right here. You got your link. Here come the evidence. Take that link right there. Look at that. They print the money. Wait for it to stop. Wait for it to stop. We're going to see how much money they print. They know exactly how much money to put in the cage to keep everybody in conflict, to keep the majority on the bottom. So they got to do these things called crimes. So they have an excuse to go out and arrest people. Oh, I got to tell you this. Oh, I do got to tell you this. That's the evidence right there. I got to show you this. Did anyone see the second video? I did not see the second video. I saw an image of the second video. I'll just tell you about it because I look for it online. I don't see it. On the second video, because I was trying to figure out, like, man, that's a big brother. That's not a little brother. How in the world are y'all holding that brother down just by holding by his knee? And it wasn't making sense to me. And then someone released a second video of people not doing nothing. Now I realize why they wasn't doing nothing. Because it wasn't one cop holding them down. It was, about 4 of them. And so they were all holding them down, which is why this big brother couldn't move. I get that. That still doesn't change me. I'm sorry. It still doesn't change what I would do. Like I said, I don't do things based. You know what? When it comes to my emotions and passions, it's more like a criminal thing. Like criminals, they do crimes to get away with it. They don't do it to get caught. Now, I wouldn't do nothing to get killed. That's not how that works. It doesn't matter. It could have been 28 police. It could have been 400 police. It does not matter. I ain't gonna sit there and watch Rebecca, Lori, Christine, Kim, or Danielle be choked out. That's not what I'm here for. Some people aren't supposed to do that. Like I said, I am. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Do you really believe that 5 officers, because there were 4 behind the car and 1 was in the front, do you really believe, while everybody else plays racial tension, I'm not playing that video game. I've seen that arcade before. I played that game before. I'm not playing that game. I'm playing, we need to shut down the arcade. We need to get the hell out of the zoo. That's the game I'm playing. Does anybody think that 5 police officers all didn't know what was going on? Does anybody think that the one that had his boot on his neck, his knee on his neck, and the other 3 or 4 behind the car, and then the dude in the front, do you really believe they didn't know that man, while he's saying, I can't breathe, knowing what's on TV, knowing what's on YouTube, knowing their training, knowing human beings need air in their lungs, do you really think that they didn't actually know what was going on? I'm gonna tell you how my mind works. I don't believe in conspiracy. I believe in there are no coincidences, and things that bolster the police state, things that make money, are done for a reason. I don't know much about Manchurian candidates. I know that MK Ultra is a thing. I don't know about any of that. I don't think human beings can kill other human beings intentionally and do it slow. But they knew what was going on. And I just think you need to ask yourself, why? Why? It looked orchestrated to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked orchestrated to me. I think they wanted the reaction that they got, and I think they got the exact reaction they want. They got military deployed all over the country, and the problem was people weren't acting up. Nobody was acting up. Everyone, I don't think they expected y'all to be the slaves that y'all. Said, go to your room, and everybody went to their room, and they just sat back and waited. They got the military. Did y'all see the video that Facebook banned, the one with all the tanks on the back, the National Guard tanks on the back of the train? Y'all see that one? They was ready to respond, weren't they? 2 months ago, boy, that's right. Oh, it's hot and popping. We're gonna tell them to go to their room. They can't go to the beach, can't go to the movies. Oh, they're gonna flip the Kirk. They're gonna Kirk out. We got the military ready to go, and they just had no idea how tame the zoo was. They had no idea that everybody would go to their room without protest. I used to protest going to my room. My mama sent my turn. Oh no, she'd get a lip or something. She wouldn't get no words. She might get a lip. She might get, she'd get something. But most people just went right to their room. So they got the National Guard deployed everywhere. Like, what are we supposed to do? We're gonna hand out some water or something? Like, candy, what are we gonna do? And all of a sudden, something happens and it starts to blow up. Seems kind of coincidental to me, but like I said, I don't believe in coincidence. I think things are orchestrated. I think we live in a zoo, and I think they control the zoo. I think they're watching and they need a good show. I think they plan most things out. I think there are no accidents that earn trillions of dollars and reroute global trade and topple currencies. I don't think there are any accidents. So, and I really don't even want to talk about this, because to me, all of this is related to everything else. It's all related to global currencies. It's related to the COVID pass. Did you guys see the UK thing now? Now in the UK, who is this monster in the UK? This dude, they're telling people now how this is going to work with the contact tracing that they turned on. Was it 2 days ago or yesterday? They turned it on. So they turned it on, and what does that mean? This dude right here. I got his picture. I got the criminal. Hold on. I talk about America a lot. He's somebody important. He's one of these politicians that's telling people that probably never did his duty, telling other people what their civic duty is. Don't you love that? I love that. I love it when politicians ain't never done their duty. They just got in the office and went golf. Ain't never done no duty. Ain't never did a duty for nobody. I'm gonna tell you what your civic duty is. I love those. They're so cute. But they got Romans behind them. This dude right here. What was this called? This is called the contact tracing in the UK. And don't worry, because I mentioned UK. It's coming for you. Don't worry. All the cages are treated the same. You're in a zoo. All the cages will get the same. When the zoo, the global zoo passes out the mandate, it's going to hit all the cages. And so now how is the contact tracing going to work? Well, they already gave you the rules. In the UK, did y'all watch the video that was behind this? I don't just post stuff for me. Basically said, well, if you turn your friends in, you only get 7 days of quarantine. Guess how many they get? Did y'all hear that part? You get 7 days of quarantine. If you turn your friends, your loved ones, your grandmama, and your cousins and your babies, you only gonna be in for 7 days. They'll be in for 14. 14. Now tell me the science behind that. Somebody give me the science. I need to know. I need to know the science behind making a snitch and a sellout. Please, somebody tell me. So you go to the beach with your friends, and you come back with a sniffle, and you got the cuckoo flu. If you run and tattletale onto the government, then you only got 7 days of quarantine, and you say, well, who was there with you? Well, Nancy Dimani was, hey, Nancy Diamani. Nancy Dimani was there, Courtney was there, Lori was there, Trish, Jeannie. Who was that? Carzigna, Jean, the other Jeannie, Sandra, and Christine. And we was all there with Citizen Deb and Cedar, and we was playing volleyball. We wasn't supposed to play volleyball on the beach because we know that y'all said no volleyballs on the beach, but we just really wanted to play volleyball. But listen, I got the cuckoo flu, and they was there with me. Guess what happens? All the people I listed, they got to be on quarantine for 14 days, criminalizing the flu. That's how they get in sellouts. That's what the Romans did. That's what the British did. That's what the Spanish did. That's what the Americans did going to Africa. I don't know if the Huns did it though. I don't know if the Huns did it. It worked the same way. How do you get people to sell out each other? You give somebody a bonus. How you get a monkey trapped in a tree? You give them something shiny. Shiny. It's coming for all of us. Woo, silence is consent. Yes, and that is why we are here. Who said that? That was Rebecca. We consent to the system. We consent to it. You know, it's like I think that was Rebecca. I was talking to somebody on the thread this morning, and he was saying something to the effect of, I try to tell people and they're not listening. And even Brother Gary was saying, I try to tell people and they're upset and they're yelling at me and they're fussing at me. And I'm just trying to tell them how the system works. Well, you know, they make people angry and upset for a reason. They make people rage for a reason because rage is profitable. They know how to control people. They know how to get their emotions to do them stupid things to give new excuses to bolster up the police state with the military that's already out there. They know how to get that response out of people. All you can do is love people and tell them the truth. The ones that got ears to hear will hear. The rest of them, they'll either hear later or they're just going to get called back. That's what this is. It is a depopulation. Speaking of that, Christ posts up something this a minute ago. I'm not even sure if I can say it because it looks like every time this little report comes out, it gets banned. If you're on Facebook, you can just go click on Christ Henderson's page, and there's a lot of things confirming that report that she just talked about. I think it's on Steam It, but they're deleting it everywhere else, which is why I'm afraid I'm not even sure what I can even say on that depopulation report. People, depopulation is not a conspiracy theory. The kings and lords have always depopulated you anytime they didn't want to give you all bananas, right? Tiger King did it. Good example. Tiger King. Y'all know who Tiger King is? As below, so above. You know what? I did it. I had 3 kids. It was too many of them. I'm a single pop. I can't. Listen, y'all monkeys gonna have to get some jobs. Y'all gonna have to do something. You know, one of them moved out. You know, he got his job, moved out. I had to depopulate. Why? Because I got things I want to do. Tiger King did it too, and that's why he's in prison now. So you mean to tell me I would depopulate? Most parents depopulate, all for profit. There's a profit reason for the love of bananas, or we need some more bananas. You mean to tell me that your government isn't trying to depopulate you? Like, I keep having these little common sense things that pop in my head, and I don't know who pops them there. Like, do you really think since 9/11 5 million people were killed by the NATO allies. The NATO allied governments, the same ones that got everybody on lockdown, that's rolling out all these new things to keep you safe. All these damn commercials. I'm so sick of these damn commercials. To keep you safe. I'm so sick of your cuckoo flu. Do you really think that a government that can kill 5 million people, multiple, it's probably about 7, 8 of them, that can kill 5 million people, don't give two damns, genociding little babies, pretty babies in Yemen, still doing it. Still doing it. While you got a $1,200 check, they spend more than $1,200 to drop bombs on these babies. Do you think these people care? Do you think they got a function to care? Do you think the system would let them care if some of your politicians do care? Hell no. It's not how the Romans work, baby. It's not how the Babylonians work. They can't care because the system is based in them not caring, right? That's what a debt-based society is. It means there's a whole bunch of people that you can't give two damns about. Indifferent. No lives matter. Not one of them. Not one of them. I have to read the comments and I'm going to back down because I was yelling yesterday and I don't like to yell. I'm not going to yell. We're good slaves, Sandra. We are fantastic slaves. We are the envy of the Milky Way galaxy. Everybody who wants a slave plantation really wants more people like us. Albert Bashai, we went right to our rooms. Albert Bashai, once again, like I said, the brother said, he said it the best. He said, America's a looting operation, and he is correct. They are fomenting civil strife, my brother. That's all they're doing, Albert, and it's working. It's working. It's not working around me. I don't know why. I sometimes think that I got some sort of flu I'm shedding off that makes people get some common damn sense around me. But I think on the TV it's happening. Maybe it's my skin color, I'm not sure, and the current scheme that's being rolled out right now. Maybe it's because I don't take people's crap, I don't know. I just always, Albert, hit the wrong categories. I'm always crapping out. I crap out. And right now I'm crapping out because I'm a healthy person. I drink my smoothies and I eat natural organic food. And because of that, now I need to be criminalized. Now my lifestyle of getting the seasonal flu is criminal because there's an industry that needs to make money and a police state that needs to make more criminals out of people. Gerard, I said the exact thing yesterday. It's a distraction. Well, Ivana, it minimum level, it is. At a minimum level, it is. But, you know, it serves multiple purposes. I think the biggest purpose right now is they need people in the street. They need to roll out more emergency style laws. They need to take more people's rights. They need more reason to lock people down. They need more reason to do what they're doing in the UK. They need more reason for the COVID pass. And the more that you can get people looking another way, but also the more that you can get them passionately angry and upset, the easier it is to do. And the more most people will go along with it. Because do you think if you live in, where was that, Minnesota? If you live in Minnesota, the people who are like living on the streets of this stuff that's happening, the people who own businesses there, do you think those people are like, yeah, riot, riot? No, they're not. They're yelling right now, police state, get the military here. And this is how they play us. Because there's always, and they're both right. That's the problem, is they're both right. The people saying bring the military here to keep us safe, and the people saying we need to burn this mother down, they're both right. But that's how they play us. That is exactly how they play us, and they are fantastic at it. They've been doing it for a very long time. They don't want us talking about the pedo politicians. No, Jack, they don't. Not that either, right? Which is why nobody talks about Epstein anymore, who did not kill himself. And I don't even think the man is dead. Why? Because I ain't never heard of the seizures. Like, look at this dude right here. Doesn't he look? Oh, goodness gracious. Y'all look at his face. I never looked at his face too closely. He looked like something ain't right in the rocket. He does look like something, because the UK, they were the first ones who got caught with that whole kings and lords still doing the pedophilia stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to make any accusations. I'm just saying I look at his face and I don't think that man should be alone with monkeys, dogs, cats, puppies, let alone children. Something look wrong with that man. But I think as a whole, Jack, they just don't want us talking about the systemic problem with power and governing, which is why I always back down to that basis, power and money. The systemic problem with having power in a marriage means somebody's going to get abused. In a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, somebody's going to get abused. When you have citizens who are willing to bend the knee and bend over, somebody's going to get abused. That's just how that works, right? No tears for Target. Wait a minute. No tears for Target and McDonald's. Burn it down. They will replace it with shiny stones. Yes, they will, Danielle. They're not worried about that. I'm talking about the small shop owners. The McDonald's could care too less. Walmart could care less. Who is it? Walmart that has a FEMA contract? Who has a FEMA contract to turn their stores into camps for us criminals who had the flu and our immune systems work because we're asymptomatic, who get turned in by our neighbors because our neighbors get a bonus for turning us in. No, they don't care. They just rebuild those things. They literally print the money. They print the money. Ooh, I'm gonna show you something else. They print the money, Danielle, and this is us right here. Y'all ever watch Never Call Saul, Two Call? What is that name of that movie? This is the brother from the Two Call Saul thing. Was it Never Call Saul, something like that? The breakout from Breaking Bad. It's us right here. We're comfy. He said, this is that money. He asked how much money it was. He started rolling around and it feel good. It's like our society. It's like our economy. To a degree, it's like the people who want to restart the system and the people who want the new normal. Same thing. We get comfortable. But they print the money. They got enough. That press doesn't stop. And if I take the hide the picture button off of right here, you'll see they're still printing money. It didn't stop. It's still going. It's printing money. It's printing money. It literally grows on trees. Literally, and soon it's not even gonna grow on trees. It'll be the digital dollar. It'll be the digital pound. It'll be the digital chain that enslaves us to nobody being free. Which is why I kind of agree with that sister. That, you know what, I'll stay here and I'll do the best things that I can do, try to push things in the right way, play my little small part, but at the end of the day, I need to live in a free country before I die. I'll do my best to help to try to get this one to be there. If not, I gotta go. I have to, yes, and that's why, Riley, because it's a culling. There's always a culling. There's always a culling coming. Die while living. Never stop living. Never stop living, Lori, and live your own life. Don't let anybody tell you how to live, especially money. Do not go into a career because it makes money. That's not your life. It's somebody else's life. I'm going to read the report on Alive. I know you are, Lori, because you a thug. I'm going to try to get brave. Lori's giving me a little bit of braveness. Hang on. So, goodness gracious. We're going to call it the Beagle Report. And if B was a D, you would know what I'm talking about. The Beagle Report. And apparently it's a thing. It's an organization. It is a department from within your government. And and it talked about reducing. Here you go, right here. We're just gonna go for it, see what happens. Hey, brother, you hang on with your money for a second. The Deagle, a real intelligence organization for the United States government, predicts massive global depopulation, 50 to 80% by 2025. And once again, like I said, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I believe in money and economics. And if there's too many monkeys in the zoo, you got to reduce some of the monkeys in the zoo. Now, sometimes you do it yourself. Sometimes you let nature do it. Sometimes you let viruses do it. Sometimes you get people to do it to themselves. You get them to be upset. You get them to, I don't know, riot in the street. Which is why I'm not against the riot. I'm just saying, do you understand what's happening? You are reacting to something that you haven't looked into yet. So here's the statistics that came from that website, the dget.com. It says they're predicting a drop by 100 million people by 2025. 2025. Now, why do I find it interesting? And I say I avoid conspiracies. Because for me, anything that disappears from the internet might be important. Anything that is removed from Facebook, YouTube, Google, and Christ saying every time she puts it up, it disappears. There are very few little videos here and there on YouTube about it, and I found one there. So it can be a rabbit hole or it can be truth. Me, I like to look at history, and I know that the kings always depopulate people. When they want more land and there's not enough to go around, what do? They tell you that you can't hunt on their land, or they take land from you, or they send you to a war with England to let you die. All right, it's what the kings and lords have always done. It's like this Bureau of Land Management. Right? I'm trying to link with this to what do we do now that's different from what we've ever done in the past. Nobody picks with the Bundys. What was it, Bureau of Land Management that came after them and said they can't graze their cows, they can't have a livelihood and do what they've done for 1,000 years. And I know people are going to get on one side or the other. I really don't care what y'all do. You can do anything you want to do. I don't play sides. I try to look at the system and figure out what do we do from here on out. If you have a zoo, a house, you can call it a nation if you want to, and the Bureau of Land Management, somebody's managing the land, and people die because they don't have clean water, they don't have land, they don't have livelihoods, and people die, then it means that that land management process, organization, department, whatever you want to call it, has zero interest in human life. Zero. Once again, 16 acres per person in the United States. People are dying without the land. They're not giving people the land. They're not giving them clean water. They want you in a city in a box. Why? Because all the things you need are in nature. You got the land, you got the sun. You got the land, you can grow food. You got the land, you can build a house. You got the land, you can dig a well and get clean drinking water. But once again, it means you'll thrive, you'll be healthy, you'll be free, and billionaires can't make no money on that. You won't have to be a part of the looting operation, which is United States Incorporated. You won't have to be a part of that because you can stay at home. You can live free. Why would you be a part of that? Bureau of Land Management. That alone should tell you that these people aren't on your side. That alone should tell you whoever's in control isn't sentient, because people are dying every single day, because they don't have clean water, air, sun, land, food. And let's not get on the vitamin D. Did y'all see that link? Who was that? Who was the sister? Dr. Patrick on Rogan explaining like the benefits of vitamin D. Like, I know the benefits of vitamin D3. I had no idea how deep vitamin D actually goes. Some of y'all think I'm talking about a supplement. I am not talking about a supplement. Yeah, you can supplement the things you can't get from nature sometimes, but you can't supplement all of them. The vitamin D3 and all the spectrums comes from the sun. That's what you want. All right, that's what you want. When the flu season came and people were getting sick, people dying in China, people passing out on the train, the first thing that your government should have said is, we are banning clothing. We are sending everybody outside. We're gonna lock all your doors and everybody gotta go outside in their drawers, everybody. And if they would have done that and you would have got in the sun, flu season would have been a lot less dangerous. I mean, think about the logic of that. How crazy that is. What was it, Indonesia? She was telling you the statistics. 98% of the people in Indonesia who died of the cuckoo virus, they were vitamin D deficient. Now, causation doesn't equal that correlation, blah, 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 but they found the same thing in New Orleans. And most people have vitamin D deficiencies. Why? Because they don't go out in the sun. If you had land, you wouldn't be sick. But once again, they've criminalized being healthy. In walks the war on drugs. In walks criminalizing the growth of plants and even having those plants. They don't want you to be healthy. Wrong, they don't make any money. They only make money when you're scared. All right, so what do? You depopulate people. You send them in the house. I don't know. I look at when it makes too much sense to me, it's a little scary, but it's true. It's true. When flu season comes, you're supposed to go get out in the sun, not be locked in your house in the darkness. It's going to make flu season worse, especially for old people. You want to save grandma, like they keep doing this, save grandma. If you wanted to save grandma, you'd have sent grandma naked out on the porch. No, you wouldn't have. No, don't do that. You can't even joke online. You say that and people send grandma, and then there's somebody calling me, and I got people knocking on my door like I'm Tony Smith. Vitamin D is important. Healthy food is important. Build up your immune system. Your immune system is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it'll be. We've been saying that time and time again. You evolved out in the sun, your body taking all in the photosynthesis. You did not have a Fruit of the Looms a million years ago. Your body are solar panels. They take in that vitamin D3. There's something a good brother posted this morning. Starts with a C. I don't know the name of it. There's some nurses here and a few doctors floating around. You can tell me what goes through vitamin D through the skin. It starts with a C. It's inside of macrophages. Kappa-nika something like that. Like I said. But the bottom line is the macrophages are what protect you, right? Like when you have the white blood cells with the macrophages, the cytotoxic T cells, these are the things that defend you from the bacteria and the flu that come in your body to join with you, to become a host relationship, to, like aphids, give you wings and teach you how to fly. But when your macrophages are deficient, which they said 70% of the United States is vitamin D deficient, which means that probably 40% of the UK is, but you know, they just eat a little healthier. But the blood meal I never understand, which I have blood pudding. I don't understand why people eat blood pudding. Another whole discussion. So if you need vitamin D3, it comes through your skin. It builds up your white blood cells. It helps you to attack things like cancer and leukemia and ALS and cardiovascular disease, which comes from sugar, and the cholesterol is inflammation, right? Now, what is that? The book that shows that cardiovascular disease and diabetes come from sugar, not from fat, but the sugar industry had a stronger lobby than the fat industry. The Cholesterol Myth, the book the two doctors wrote. When you don't have macrophages having the things that they need, they don't do the things they do. They're like people. They're like monkeys in a zoo. When they don't have the bananas they need, they're not going to operate how they need to. If your macrophages don't work because you're on lockdown in your house, you're not getting any sun, yes, you're going to get the flu. You're going to have a wave 2 because you're supposed to. That's how the flu works. So now what are you going to do during part 2? Once they finally got the COVID, the multi-pass, the UK, the contact tracing, they got all that going, what's going to happen when they pull this the second time around? Because you know it's only a few months away. They're going to open up, and then people going to start getting it, and they're going to try to lock down again. What you going to do? I got a feeling I know what I'm going to do. Anyway, Better Call Saul. That was the name of it, right? Patricia, Better Call Saul. Yeah, the BLM who came after them. I recently learned that the Rangers can make up their own rules as they see fit. No legislation needed. After I got my Subaru, they started kicking people off BLM. I guess I got lucky. That's where I was camping for over a month. Okay, Bureau of Land Management. Okay, I thought you was talking about Black Lives Matter. Or Brown Lives Matter, or I don't know. I didn't know what you were talking about. Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, right, they kick you off the land. Who's that, Hunter? You all over the place, Botanic Hunter. They kick you off the land. They don't want you there. They act like they own it. And they don't actually own it. They don't own it. They literally have enough land for everybody to live healthy and thrive, but they don't want you to have it. So once again, I asked the question, do you really think these people care about you? Do you think they're worried about you getting the cuckoo flu? Do you think that they want you to be healthy? The same people that can drop bombs and kill 5 million people. Babies, mamas, uncles, old people, young people, all the same, and not stop. They don't care. They literally don't care. They're not allowed to. Why you watch TV, G? I ain't watched TV since McCain's death, except I was not at home. Oh, Citizen Dev, yeah. Did I say I was watching TV? Nah, that thing barely comes. That thing is right there. Thing is full of dust. Sometimes I'll turn it on because at 29, my eyes don't do what they're supposed to do, so I like things to be a little bigger. But for the most part, that's the only one, and that rarely comes on. Usually that's just to put me to sleep. That's because I need to watch like Monster Hunter or Survivor, learn how to eat bugs and worms and survive, and make souffle out of mushrooms and which mushrooms not to eat. I watch the Survivor shows, but that's about it. Why? Because I'm thinking about the future. I think that the zoo is going to get rough. They're reducing the amount of bananas that they give us. Like this brother's enjoying rolling in the money because they're reducing the bananas they're putting in the cage because something is up. Ooh, Patricia just posted it. That's it right there. Don't get me in trouble. Woo! Just popped up his daily report. Yeah, that's the daily report Christ was talking about, and they're removing it. If they're removing it on the internet, there's something to it. So Danielle and Ty and Tony and Lori and the rest of y'all doing live streams, Lily and Melissa, those are things you want to look at, but don't post them. Don't post them. If you are, I'm starting to realize the game a little bit. If you got a big mouth and you're running doing these live streams, you can't be posting. You actually can't be posting the links, because when you're posting the links, that's how they get you, and that's how they put you in these Facebook prisons and take your channel. You got to farm that out. And so I'm trying to post less. I'm in the garden too, but I'm posting less because I realize like everybody's got a role to play. And when Christ and other people post that who don't do live streams, it's your job to go do the work, to look it up. And the best that y'all can, tell us what's going on, and we can probably talk about it, but we can't post about it. You know, that's the only way we get out the zoo, is all the monkeys got to work together. Let me close this up, because I don't even like money, man. I hate money. Money is slavery. I don't like it, and slavery is a choice, and I don't want to choose that no more. They depend on it. Victoria, they depend on us. They depend on our consent. As long as we consent, they're going to shoot people dead in the street, and they're not going to stop. They've made that obvious. They don't care. They'll burn down ranches, they'll shoot ranchers, and they'll shoot the poorest kids on the street, and they don't give two damns. Mostly because I think they understand the activity they get out of people is going to allow for the things that are happening in that Deagle website, that report, depopulation. If you want to do depopulate, the best way to depopulate is you get people to do it themselves, or you get them to focus on nothing that's significant, right? And therein walks your racism. People say, well, why won't you talk about the racism? I say, I'm not saying racism doesn't exist. I know it exists. Look at my skin. Do I look like I don't know racism doesn't exist? I'm as black as they come. It might be slightly blacker than me in India, but not much. It's just when you realize, like I was talking to the sister this morning, when you really start to see the matrix and how some of this stuff is working, you can't unsee it. That's the problem when you really start to know, is you can't unsee it. You can't ever go back to praising Obama and praising Trump and praising Clinton and the rest of these criminals in the banks and in the monetary systems. When you really see it, you can't unsee it. And so you want to talk about the things that are significant. And right now, it's not even going to matter. It's not going to matter. You keep playing. All right, I'm not going to get into it. Too many people get triggered by certain words, right? And that's why the same reason when you say racism, expect this. You're going to get trigger out of some people, right? Because there are groups of people where in certain areas, they are the majority that are getting taken care of. And I don't mean taken care of. And that's just a real thing. And you're going to get an emotional response from people. But it's the same thing with the cuckoo virus. That's why I don't say what y'all want me to say. I say the cuckoo because it's a trigger word. Tell me if I'm wrong. That is now a trigger word. If you say it the right way, people get scared. Right? The same way people are scared of other people now, and they don't want to go out in public without wearing a mask. Right? It's a trigger word. They've effectively made it a trigger word because you sit down in front of that television every damn day and let these people scare you. When you have property and aren't in the 1%, you are a target of the feds. My family lost their farm due to their geoengineering, ruining the crops and them not being able to pay illegal taxes. Helene Paul, that has been the game since the very beginning. Which is why I'm saying, folks, your fight is not with po-white folk, right? Your fight is not with po-black folk. Your fight is with the folk that's always been taking the land. They've wanted the land from the very beginning. They had no intention in giving the land to the non-1%. Because with the 1% back then, when America was taken from people it should never been taken from, and that great criminal act that we need to undo to a degree where we all reshare the ecosystem, they came in and it was a 2%. They got as much land as they could from as many as they could, and the 2% became the 1%. Now people say it's a 0.01%. It's always been about land. If you got land, you got safety, freedom, livelihood, and you can tell your government where to go. You can tell the zookeeper where to go. If you ain't got no land, you're a slave, which is why they got everybody to go off the farm. I said this before. Who was that? Helene? I said it before. The biggest mistake in American history and, well, in industrial history, because it happened in different nations. I just don't know how it happened in the other nations. But the biggest mistake the Americans made, not the United States Incorporated, it's not the same thing. The biggest mistake the Americans made is when they left grandma and grandpa on the farm. When they left grandma and grandpa in whatever, carpentry, blacksmith, on their land, whatever they were doing, to go to the city, to industrialize. The biggest scam in U.S. history, and probably industrial history, is when they trick people into giving up their land. Oh, you can have a great life in the concrete jungle. You can have a great life in the city. You'll come here, we'll bring your water, we'll bring your food, we'll take care of you. All the kids moved to the city, and guess what they did? They bankrupt grandma and grandpa. They came up with these different schemes like you're talking about with the Bureau of Land Management, which is a criminal organization, to get the land from the people. Now the next generation of the generation has no land. And it's just cycle. Right? So we can fight. Oh, revolution, right? You can fight if you want to get the land back, but then it restarts the cycle. And then we end up back in the same place again, because in 2 or 3 generations, them kids ain't gonna want to grow no food. They're not gonna want to work in the farm. They ain't gonna want no cow poop and coming in the back door with a mud room. You just restart the cycle. And that's what I'm saying. My interest is a paradigm shift. I have no interest in the old normal, which is psychopathic. I have no interest in the new normal, which is psychopathic. My interest is paradigm shift, right? Free the people. Like Pat Riley says, until you free the people, the cycle ain't never going to change. Same with the cycle of violence, same with the police state, same with shooting people. And it doesn't really matter. Whoever's on the bottom is going to get shot by the police all the time. Why? Because the police got a job to do. And the system plays everybody against each other. And that's assuming that they're not Manchurian candidates. And I kind of think that they were, because I don't think that you can find 5 normal people. You can't find one human being that can choke the life out of another human being without it being in some psychotic energy warrior gene zone place. And you can't get 20 people on the street filming it standing there unless they're scared to death to act. And I actually feel sorry for those people, to be honest with you. I feel sorry for them because I know me. And I know that if any of those are human beings, they got sympathy. They don't have a fart, they have a heart, and start with an H, not a fake heart. Every time they close their eyes, they see his face. I know that because when I close my eyes, sometimes I see his face, and I didn't even watch the whole video. We do things to people because we love money. We do things to people because we love our economy. We do things to people because we're doing pretty good, a little high on the hog, got a nice apartment, got a car, don't want to rock the boat. You know, I'll say fight the power, but I don't really mean it. I don't really want to rock this boat. When we're done and we want the cycle to stop, we got to walk away. You can't fight the system. But see, you literally live within the system. You have to walk away from the system. Is all you can do. So who's going to help me learn English? You don't know English, Carter Zigna? Well, you need to learn, well, you know what, Carter Zigna? You needed to learn English 100 years ago. That time is coming to an end. Right now, Carter Zigna, you need to learn yourself some Russian and some Mandarin because the whole world, the police state is being handed to them. You need to learn that. The business language of the world is no longer going to be English. Everything is shifting. It's about control. If they control you without taking your land, they will have it. They will let you have it. Well, right. And that's so they control people by taking the land. If you can, who's that? Price? I know you. I know you. You got a different name. People change their names. I know Price. Right. So if they take your land, better yet, listen, if they take your ability for you to be you, if they take your ability from your species to be free or strong, if they take your ability to be healthy, they literally stand between you and your life, which means they can control you and get you to do anything that they want you to do. You know, and that's my main spit with money, is that they put money between human beings and survival. Land is between human beings and survival as well. If you take that, you own them. You know, we have to take the land back. That's really what it comes down to. They can't have the land. You can't have a billionaire rancher in Texas that owns enough land that's larger than the size of Rhode Island. You can't have that. You can't have a landowner with 24 counties in his land and you got people dying in Dallas and in Houston because they don't have any land. They don't have a means to provide for themselves. Like, you know what, let's just say for a minute, I'm this crazy conspiracy theorist that sees conspiracies everywhere. In walks Brother Walter. If your government gave half a damn about you, if they were actually governing, if they were for the people, by the people, love the people, hug the people, care the people, kiss the people, all that crap that we was taught in civics, that was a lie. If they were that, right now they'd be giving you the land back. Right now they'd be sending you some chickens. Right now they'd be sending you some seeds. Right now they'd be educating the population how to take care of themselves because we know we got a depression in front of us. They wouldn't be putting military on the street. They wouldn't be stirring up the public for racial tension. They wouldn't be stirring up the public for religious tension. They wouldn't be stirring up the public coming up with a new enemy, China. They wouldn't be stirring up the public in all of these bullshizzle narratives, which some of them might be based in some truth. They're just insignificant to the grand scheme of things, right? If they cared about you, they would be doing things right now to show you that they care. I mean, when your kids are starving, do you feed them? Or do you go in their room and take things from them? Think about it. Your kids are starving, do you send them to their room? That's all I'm saying. Don't try to tell me that your government cares about you. You don't have a government, you have a corporation. The only way to walk away is to form huge groups, communities, and then we can gently put the corporate demons in their jails and rebuild everything our way. Helene, I think that's the easiest way. I agree with you. I think there are a lot of ways to walk away when we have these conversations. I try to tell people about the Venus Project, the Zeitgeist movement, the resource-based economy, the automated economy, all the ideas brain trust and think tanks have been coming up with for the last 20 or 30 years. They thought this out really, really well. How do you free the human race? Well, you get the robots and the automations to provide for them, right? You make humanity the basis of the system. The capital is no longer capital, but the staple in the economy is the human brain, is the human life, right? And gross national happiness over gross domestic product. You know, one is for billionaires and the other is for people. There are a lot of ways to do it. And to me, the easiest way I see to do that in the current times is what you said. It's community, right? Because if you don't need them, then they have to bend the knee to you. As long as you need them for your power, your water, your food, your everything that you're getting, then they control you, right? You're that monkey that's grabbing for that shiny thing in the log, getting your hand trapped. You have to become strong again. You have to be independent. And I think we only got so much time to say it, Helene. I think we only have so much time to tell people you got to go back to being strong instead of being popularly weak. And the only way to do that is you got to provide for yourself. You got to provide with your community. I'm not saying that you have to own the land, but you can work with people who do own the land who can't farm the land. Or maybe they're essential to the billionaires and they're still working. So maybe you go work some of their land and you share the crop with them. It's called sharecropping, but work out a fair deal. Don't let it be the sharecropping that we used to do. There are a lot of ways to work together. Is that Sister Lucy? Sister Lucy's got a farm. She needs help on her farm. You can help on her farm. Get some eggs so you can feed your kids. Work together. Try to work together with people you got everything in common with. Not the billionaires and their paid politicians that you have nothing in common with. Work together. That's how you do it. And that's how you build a community. Helene is right on it. Right? You build a community, then you can say, no, I don't want to go that way. I'm not worried about what's going on in your crazy world. No, I don't need your water. I dug a well. I don't need your power. We got solar panels. How we get solar panels? I ain't got no money. Well, we know somebody that has money and they're still working. They live in New York. But what do? You call them and say, listen, I got land. You got money. How about this? If you invest, give me some ability to put in a wind generator, some solar panels, whatever, so we can have power. You'll always have a place to stay. You keep working, we'll grow the food. We'll put in the perennials and the farm and chickens, get all that going. You keep working. If bad things happen and depression starts and you need to get out of New York or Seattle or Chicago or wherever, we got a spot for you. We already got you don't have to give them a house though. You can't really give them a tent. I don't know, an efficiency or something, but you got a safe place to come where there's food. And the resounding thing about that message about being as strong as people in the cities know that. They know that. Nobody's this stupid. Everybody knows bad times are ahead and the last place you're going to want to be is in a city. So work together with the people that got the money, right? Now is not a time for falling apart and fighting over racism. Now is not a time for that. If you have eyes, you know what's going on. Don't get into the emotional side of the conversation. Just say, listen, we either going to work together to fight the zookeepers. We're going to work together to end this whole caging system of the human race, or we're all going to die. And it ain't going to matter. Or most of us will, but once they depopulate us. Do you use sunscreen? Jesse asked. Jesse, how? I can tell you I don't use no sunscreen. I don't. I had a crazy aunt who put that on me a long time ago. I don't know why. She's light-skinned and I'm not. I didn't need any sun. I got enough melanin, which is why that video actually was very important that people watch from Dr. Gosh, what is her name? Is it Judy Patrick? Somebody, if I'm saying it, correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Judy Patrick. Where she explained to people if your body does less processing of vitamin D because you got extra melanin or because you're wearing sunblock in the sun, you're going to have a problem, right? Because the vast majority of people are vitamin D deficient. And when you're vitamin D deficient, your immune system doesn't work how it's supposed to. You got a bunch of pandemics waiting for you, and the cuckoo flu was like 15, 25, 32 down the list because what? It's got a 98% survival rate. You do the math. You know, so no, I don't wear sunscreen. Am I telling folks who evolved in more genetic skin that evolved in Europe to not use sunscreen? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they were lying to you when they said that the sun causes cancer. The real statement would be you came from your skin came from Europe. The DNA for your skin came from Europe, and the sun is not as intense as it is here. So you need to put something on your skin so you don't get carcinogen-like and negative effects being under too much sun. There are a lot of natural plants that do that, and I can list them all for you, except the problem is my European genetics did not end up in my skin. My Irish genetics and British genetics, they ended up, I don't know, heart, liver, somewhere else. They didn't end up on my skin. So I don't even know what those plants are. But there are essential oils that block the sun. They're natural things that will not block, reduce. Because your goal, if you're paying attention, is to reduce the amount of sun that goes through your skin to equate wherever you came from, right? This sun doesn't bother me. I go out there, I'm in the sun all day. I'm in the sun all day. The problem is my neighbors can see me. Otherwise, I'd be bucking naked. I'd be adamant. I'm an Adam and Eve person. I got solar panels all over my body, and clothing is tyranny. Clothing literally is what's killing people. So no, I get out in the sun all the time, and I never have to wear it because the skin part of my mixed spectrum of cultures and ethnicities that make me up, the skin part came from Africa, a place that's closer to the equator where the sun is more intense. So I need more sun, and other people, I need more sun, and other folks need just a little less sun, but nobody needs to be inside. You need to be outside all day. You know what's killing you is you work in an office. Working in an office, you are literally waiting to die. Not only are you stressing yourself because you're working for slavers and a boss, and the human body's not used to that kind of stress. We're used to spikes in stress because we're being chased by a lion, and then after 15 minutes, we either got eaten or we got away. And so your body shuts down doing anything like producing white blood cells, wasting energy, because it knows it needs that energy to run. It doesn't know how long it may have to fight or flight. That's what that response is. But when you go 8 hours a day stressed out in the office, you're not getting any sun. You got a fake plastic fig plant looking at you with dust on it, and your boss is stressing you over some damn TPS reports. You are waiting to die. People, if you have a spouse, you got a boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever you're with, kids, whatever, they're like, you know what, I hate work. I hate going there. You should be doing anything you can to help get them out of that. I don't understand people that talk about they love people. I love you. I'd do anything for you. They go through the whole wedding, spend $20,000, got the cake. I ain't seen somebody came out the floor at the wedding. Everybody crying, everybody looked nice and throwing flowers and roses. I love you, gonna be together. How you get the cake and you smash it in her face and she smashes it in your face. I love you. And then they come home and say, work is killing me. Well, honey, if you just work 10 more years, just work 10 more years, we can get that bathroom that we talked about. I can get that sports car. That's hate. That's not love, baby. That's hate. I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's hate. If somebody is telling you that they hate work, you need to do anything you can to help that person get out of that. Because you're going to pay their medical bills. The government don't care about them. The government, this is a labor plantation. It is a labor tax plantation. They need you working. They need you stressed. They need you sick. They need you to pull that sled like a mule, and then they need you to die quickly. They don't need you to retire. Nope, they're not interested in your retirement neither. That's how I know they don't get no damn about the flu. They need you to, once you quit working, you're at that point, you're a liability. Which is part of why I think they sent everybody in the house and sent grandma in out the sun. I don't know. To me, like I said, that's how my mind works. Everything is money. Everything is power and money. You can throw everything else out the window. They don't care. Words can be our prisons if we allow them to be. They're cursive language. Language is a curse. I absolutely agree. Kim Jackson. Oh, did you have a wonderful post earlier today? I forgot what you said. You know Price for sure. I do know Price. He changed his name. That's what he did. I didn't know who he was, Lord, till I saw his video. I was like, oh, I remember Price. It's like, where he went? I thought he disappeared. I thought he disappeared in the mass exodus of live streamers from 2 years ago. The only way to walk away from the huge group communities, and then we can gently put, okay, no, we did that one. I'm going down through old comments. Let me pick it up. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Susan. Not just survive, thrive. Absolutely, Susan Jewell. We need to don't think about surviving, right? It's a survival game when you have no idea the level of technology they have. When you fathom what these whistleblowers are saying and the level of technology they have in automation and robotics and free energy, you can be thriving. There literally is no reason for you to do any slave heavy lifting because the wealthiest people who were born with the most jewels want you to. Sometimes, Susan, when I think about it, I think careers are just busy work. I don't even think they need us to do that anymore. I mean, they damn sure don't need our taxes. They print the money. They really don't need our labor. They got all the robotics and automation to do that. Half the time I think it's just so we eat each other. What Riley just said, the Hunger Games. Half the time, I think job, career, college, education, I think all of that is a scam. I think all of it's a distraction half the time. It's just busy work. They just need you to go do something so you're not focused on them. And they're all doing who knows what. Like, ooh, Susan, I got in trouble with Walter. I always get in trouble with him. I don't know why every time I do some aliens or UFOs, guy catches a fit. I told him, I said, don't catch too much of a fit because I go find my mermaid people. We can do some unicorn and mermaid videos, some Bigfoot and Loch Ness. We need to change the world, people. And the more people we get to change the world, the better. I don't really care what you believe, right? You believe in chupacabra. I don't really care as long as you're willing to walk away from the system and you can find out the truth about chupacabra. I'm good to go, right? We need an open source society. We need no secrets. You're supposed to have conspiracy theorists. You're supposed to PPC people, have people who see lies everywhere from the moon landing to everything else. When you're with a government that lies all the damn time, because it's not a government, it's a corporation. And it lies anytime it needs to make money or gain power. When you have that, you're supposed to be coming up with some theories. And those theories might get kind of wild. Have you ever known someone whose husband or wife is cheating on them for years and they've known it and they've called them 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times? You ever ducked them text messages? The first time I did was interesting. It's like, oh, damn it, look at that. Ooh, whoo. Man, you gotta love yourself, man. I don't know what's going on. She or he, they up to something, I get that. And then after about the 10th year, it's like, okay, now this person been cheating on you from the very beginning. They're not gonna stop cheating on you. It's a part of their model. It's a part of the plan that they have for this marriage. They're not gonna stop. This is what they wanna do. They want an open marriage. They're just not telling you. They want an open relationship. They're just not telling you. What about a government that lies to you about every damn thing, has secrets all the time? They literally have passwords on everything. And they're honest that, no, you can't look at my laptop. You can't look at my classified documents. You can't look at none of it. None of it's for you. Why would you stay married to somebody like that? It's supposed to create conspiracy theories. People are supposed to see, nonsense everywhere and wonder where you at because it's 5:30 and they'll know exactly how long traffic take you to get to home and you ain't home yet and you didn't put on your nice shoes today. Damn it, why you put on your nice shoes and you wore a little extra cologne this morning? I hadn't smelled it. You up? That's mermaids, man. That's unicorns. All right. But to me, it fits with the whole alien UFO thing. Why? Because that's free energy. I really don't care if it's aliens or space work. I don't know why Walter does that. I love that brother. So he posted something. Oh, okay, here's an example. This is why he got mad at me, Susan. He posted this. I don't know if he was mad at me. He just said, Gerard, you're losing audience because you talk about UFOs. I literally don't care. My interest is not in the numbers. My interest is in people who are capable of critical thought and who want to fight for an open source world, that are willing to say, you know what, pretty much everything a lie in this marriage is a lie. And anything is possible. Anything is possible. He posted something about the Vatican, about scriptures, right? There were some scriptures that were hiding in some book. I didn't even see the post. He said he posted it. They deleted it almost right away. A good brother said he saved a screenshot of it. I haven't seen it. If somebody's got that, please send it to me. But some scriptures they removed from a book or some books or something that they removed. And I'm like, well, Walter, you understand how this all fits together, right? We want to free the people. The only reason they're working is because they think they got to work. They don't understand that they got free energy, and they've had that since at least the 1940s. And the scriptures have talked about free energy for a long time. God doesn't have a chariot, okay? God has no chariot. You go to the what's the African tribe? The Dogons, the Hopi, the other Native American tribes, the Aborigines, the Greeks, they all said it, even the Romans. Said, damn it, something flying up there. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter what it is. The only thing I care about is we got it. Space Force, they're flying that thing around. They got free energy, and to me, it solidifies in scripture, but in ancient text, But all these whistleblowers are saying, you got over 1,000 whistleblowers who are saying it. You got free energy. Why do you have people still working like they're in a zoo? Why are you still treating them like they're animals? Why are you still policing them like they're monkeys? Why are you still shooting them dead in the street? Well, because we won't let them know the truth, which is they actually don't have to go to work. We can free them, but we like the power and we don't want to let it go. Right? It's all related. It's all related. And can you imagine what's at the Vatican? The Vatican has, that's what I'm saying, all of this is related. The Vatican has, what, 10 miles worth of bookshelves of books that your ancestors wrote in times where less than 2% of us could even read or write. Your ancestors thought it was so important to write down their observations at the time, and you got a place called the Vatican that is literally banning you from human history. You're a human, that's your history. Your ancestors have things that you needed to know that you're not even allowed to know. I don't care if you believe in mermaids, or Bigfoot, or Loch Ness, or the moon landing, or flat earth, the aliens, whatever. All I need is people to say, you know what? This ain't working. This marriage ain't working out. It ain't working out. It ain't working out. And the government say, well, we need to get some counseling. And people say, nah, no, we ain't, no. Because you know what? We done tried and told you need to stop cheating with the bankers. You need to stop. We need a divorce. Nah, we need a paradigm shift. This ain't working out. We need to go find a new website, find somebody else. Go find Tinder or something. Winter is not coming, people. Oh, winter is not coming. Let me show you. Well, y'all remember, you ever watched the Game of Thrones? Winter is coming. See if I can find that picture. Winter is not coming. That was one of my posts from this morning. I'm trying to show y'all something. No, you don't have to worry about winter coming. Here, go right here. Is that showing? No, that's not. Is that? Oh, you know what? The monkey's in the way. Move on. The monkey is always in the way because monkeys, they don't like zoos. They like to be free, kind of like the human race. They weren't made to live in cages. They know that that speaker is a speaker, it's not a rock. And they'll act out because they don't have what they need. Winter is coming. No, winter's not coming no more. Winter has already come. Winter got it out. Winter got it out. It already came, and the globalists have came all up in your deep state. And now the baby is on the way. The baby is coming. What we gonna do? That's the only question we gotta ask. It's too late. We consented and we stimulated the global bankers and the globalists. Now they finally got all the deep states in Canada, UK, here, Germany, Australia. All of the deep states are now pregnified with central banking and police states from the cuckoo virus. And the baby is coming. The question is, are we gonna let that baby come out that damn egg? Not a baby, not a cute baby. It's either like the Antichrist or a global police state. But winter already came. We consented to it, and so it had to. Naked gardening with G. Yes, Jonathan. I would do that if we had time. I would do that. I would do that. It'd be like a Benny Hill. Anybody watch Benny Hill? You know when Benny Hill went in the garden? I'd do that, but I would, oh no, not now. Not now, dude. Right now is the time to run. Do a naked gardening, Fiji. No, we're not gonna do that. No, we don't have time. I might have to leave, Lord. I might have to get the hell out of here. And inside a home, we have so many toxins. That's right. Who's that? Who said that? Riley? Somebody said that. The houses are off gassing. Like off gassing, right? The majority of stuff in your house is toxic and poison, and it's off gassing and poisoning you. You can make a cob house for free. You can make a hemp house for free. If your government cared about you, you wouldn't have any homeless. Like that's one of the great indicators that you ain't got a government to give two damn. If your government does not, let me ask you a question. I like common sense questions. If your government doesn't give two damns that rain is falling on your head, do you think it gives a damn if you got the flu? I'm sorry, just process that and think about it. Think about it. If you're out there protesting in the street and you got a mask on, you're scared of the police state, you want to fight the police state, but you're doing what the flustate tells you, and you're seeing that they're using the flustate to roll out increased draconian laws to help the police state become militarized. Do you see that conflict we talked about yesterday? I like common sense because it's not common no more. But I think if you think about things, things will make sense. Those moon blooms up. So on the mountain are proof positive of that, Susan. Oh, y'all talking back and forth. All right, well, I'm about to get out of here. We got any last couple comments, and I'm a roll. All I'm saying is for the love of bananas. For the love of bananas, that's why we're here. We're here because we don't realize we're in a zoo. And those of us who realize we're in a zoo and we're in a cage, and Russia's in a cage, and North Korea's in a cage, and as long as we're willing to fight the other poor people in the cage, have issues with them because of their skin, or because they don't trust us or believe us, they don't believe the things we believe, our religion, all the dumb things they use to control people. As long as you believe those things, we're just waiting on extinction. When you finally grow up and realize you are in a cage, and they are literally just feeding you just enough to keep you in conflict with other people, but not focus on the cage, the lock, the zoo to get free, then they're good to go. Vatican Library. Yes, Jonathan Close. Look it up. It's fantastic. Because there are a lot of theories on the Vatican Library and what they have. They say when the Library of Alexandria burned down, it didn't burn down with all the scriptures and books, and there are millions of scriptures and books in them. All those ancient texts, because Alexandria kept all the texts from everybody who came into port. As soon as you came into port in Alexandria, they would take all the books off your ship, they take all the books out of your carriage, and they would copy them. And you would get the copy back when you left. So the greatest library in human history was at the Library of Alexandria, which is why it had to be burnt down. And I forgot who did that. One of the Romans did that. Burned it down. But before they burned it down, they got away with a lot of the books. Somebody took a lot of those books and took them to the Vatican. And the Vatican says, under no circumstances can we let Carzigna, Riley, Jonathan, Lori, Gina, Kim Jackson, Kentucky Fried Mama, Citizen Deb, Botanic Hunter, and ever read what their ancestor gave to them. So if those books just had, I don't know, tax records and who ruled this and King's List and whatever, would nobody care? They wouldn't bother to hide it from you. But they hire guards. You're not allowed, no one's allowed to go in unless you're with a research institute. And when you go in, you already have to know the 3 books that you're going to get maximum. And you can only have those books for one day, and you got to return them by the end of the day. But you got to know that the books are there, and you got to know their names. If they go to that length to hide from the human population what their ancestors wrote, there's something very significant in all of those books. Human history would free us, I think, from all this nonsense that we're locked into. Your ancestors needed you to know something, and they under no circumstances will let you get to it. Somebody else does that too. It's called the Library of Congress? No, not the Library of Congress. Was it Freedom of Information Act, or the Library of Congress is similar? But in order to have a Freedom of Information Act request, you need to know the exact document, where it is, and what section you want to see. And how would you know what document, what you want to see is if you've never seen it and you're never allowed to go in? We can't have secret world anymore, because this is the long-term effect of a zoo that's being starved. The animals eventually go crazy and kill each other. And that's what we got going on right now. You think it has to do with race and fur? To me, it just has to do with artificial scarcity. They're keeping you scarce because they know that they can get you upset from the effects of what happens when the zookeeper comes in. And you'll make it about the poor people that are easy to go fuss with instead of the wealthy people that actually did this to everybody. All right. Alchemy, witchcraft, magic, Kentucky Fried Mama, that makes some sense if that's what they're hiding. You know, anything that'll help people to actually solve their own problems, get healthy and free themselves, which is exactly what we got going on right now. They've criminalized being healthy. F the Vatican. Well, Kentucky Fried Mama, they're not on my team, so I don't give 2 damns about it. They can burn down anytime they want to, just don't burn the books. Oh, Rosemary, is that it? Rosemary, baby? Rosemary, is that what we need to give our light-skinned persuasion cousins to make sure that holds back that sun just to minimum limits? If that is, then that's what y'all need to do, because y'all need to be here. We got a fight coming. We didn't start the fight, but they're bringing it. They're bringing it. We need all hands on deck, people. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. You cannot come with a weak immune system. You need to come. You need to grow. Nah, that's the wrong word. You need to be strong. You need to be strong. You need to know how to take care of yourself. If you know how to forage, teach other people. You're growing food, grow for more for other people. You know how to shoot. You know how to show some other people how to shoot. We don't have to build a community and work together. Because if not, the banker's going to send us all to the pits of fiery hell in a casket. That's the result. We didn't bring the fight. They brought it to us. What are we going to do? You said it, Gerard, and this is why I keep telling people we're going to have to step outside the comfort zone and remove the thugs. How can you even live off the grid with the threat of a death energy weapon? That's that Star Wars technology he's talking about, given to you by Reagan. And drones shooting you in the head. I can tell you that they watch and they pounce. The last garden I grew got sprayed with liquid aluminum right at the time of harvest. They know when to get something, and it went up. Absolutely, and this is why we don't have any one solution, Helene. This is why there is no one solution. Like any strategist, because this is a war. These are quiet weapons for silent wars being waged on your immune system, your health, physicality, through the military, police state, all of that. You can't have one strategy. But we got to prepare for the long game. You got to prepare. Like any military engagement, the key is logistics. Right? The key is logistics. If they can shut down where you're getting your oil from, your fuel, and you don't have nothing to put in tanks, you've already lost. And that's mostly what World War I and II were about. It was just about blowing up ball bearing factories and shutting down the oil getting to the front line. Because if people can't fight, they just walk away. And I'm not talking about fighting from that perspective. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about the fuel that keeps people going, water, infrastructure, the things that allow people to actually withstand a long-term engagement with a government that's been war with them for hundreds, if not thousands of years. You have to be strong enough to stay in the trenches for the long fight. And it might be a short fight and it might be a long fight, Helene. It'll be short if we can wake up enough people to walk away from the system, but odds are people are going to wake up slowly in their own times, which is what's happening. We just got to love those people and look out for them. Try to speak to them in ways that don't piss them off, but keep feeding them information. And one day that light bulb is going to go off. Like I was talking to Brother Gary, and he's like, talking to people is hard because they're so emotional right now. Yeah, but Gary, they know that you know. They know that you know. And right now things are emotional. But when they know that you give a damn, they know that you care, when they realize that the same old ways they've been acting is not changing anything, then they're going to come to you. And when they come to you, you feed them. And when enough people wake up, we walk away from the system, the whole damn thing collapses. The whole system is based in, it's a slave plantation. It's a system. It needs your compliance. It needs your consent. If you stop consenting to it, if you protest on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and go to work Monday morning and pay your taxes, you basically gave up your reason to protest. It is a system and they all work together. I'm at the house, he's not here. Where are you at? What house you at, Kelly? Y'all looking for Todd? Did Todd disappear? He was on this morning. And Kelly's another. She was live streaming this morning. Y'all should watch her. Absolutely. Good live stream this morning too, Kelly. She was showing you guys Dane Wigington. And this is what Helene was just talking about. People are like, yeah, chemtrails is crazy. Literally, you have no damn idea what you talk about. The geoengineering.org site is amazing. And they pretty much already admitted it that through the universities. And I think even didn't Bill Gates get in on that? Saying, hey, we're going to save everybody by cutting out the sun. We're going to save everybody and stop climate change by turning off the sun. Now, what are the odds that a guy that believes in global depopulation, has said it on multiple occasions, actually wants to block out the sun so we can save lives and make more people, when he literally said he needs to depopulate certain continents? Don't make no damn sense. No, they're going to use that. They're going to block the sun out because when you don't have vitamin D, you can't fight the things that he has patented. It's not a conspiracy theory. The damn man admitted it. That's not a conspiracy theory. You literally live in a time where they think that you got so little power that they feel they don't have to hide it from you no more. If you have never been on geoengineering.org, you need to go out and take a look. JFK admitted that, and LBJ admitted that. Like, that's what blew me out for climate change, Kelly, if you ever look at it. And I think it's still on YouTube. They didn't get rid of it. Where JFK said, look, he said, we got technology, and if we're not careful, we don't share it with the public, in the future, we're going to end up causing climate change. He said it. And then right after him, after they killed him, LBJ stepped in and said, yeah, we've got satellites that can change global cloud cover. Well, if you know what's in clouds, then you understand what that is. That's geoengineering. So it doesn't surprise me, Helene, that I know they see everything and they can do anything they want. They can destroy anybody's crop they want, which is why everybody has to, right? If you're growing, they can get you right before harvest. They can get you all along. Most plants don't grow well with aluminum. That's why all you can do to the best of your ability is grow as food forest and healthy as possible. That's why I do a lot of posts, with boogers and manure and bacteria and viruses under my fingernails. And they happen to be, well, that kind of clean today. I had to go pick up some stuff yesterday, but I still got some dirt, some bacteria right up under there. So that one's kind of clean. I'm faking the funk. Hold on. Ooh, I know I got a dirty now. There we go. I got some of them. That's why I do that. And I show those. One, it grosses people out, but two, when you know that your government is killing crops, because it happened before, bankers did that. Like, remember when they were stealing everybody's land? They did that. Like, this is history. When you know that they're going to do that, everybody has to do it. You can't be the only one do it. Everybody has to do it. And they're not going to get everybody's. So you do the best that you can and look out for people. It's like farming, Helene. I know you know this, and I'm kind of regurgitating for what most of the people here know. That's why when you grow tons of corn and you have excess corn, you share it with your neighbors. Why? Because next year you may not have a bumper crop. And they remember, like, yeah, you took care of me, I'll take care of you. He's growing tomatoes and you're working together. And this is how you build community. You don't keep asking people to pay you. Like I agree with people, we need to go back to barter. But most things, when you have excess, you're supposed to give it away. Right? When people have needs, you're supposed to give it to them because they need it. And you build up faith and trust, and that's how you build a community. So that's why everybody has to do it. It can't be, you can't have centralized growing. If you're holding out against a government that's holding out on food that won't let you go shopping at the grocery store because the grocery store won't let you in because you don't have your multi-pass, you don't have your COVID pass, because you don't want to get animal tissue put within you, because you actually read books and you understand what the virologists are saying, that the only way you're going to get a jump between species is rare and almost never happens. But when it does happen, it's because somehow the tissue from that monkey got in you. The tissue from that snake got in you. And when you do your research, you realize, I'm not going for that nonsense. You are not putting no product in me at all. You can take your cure and shove it up wherever you found it. You ain't putting that mess in me. But in order to do that, it means you're not going to be driving. That's what they're using to hold people off. They're not going to let you renew your license. They're not going to let you go to the grocery store. Certain stores won't let you in unless you got that Mark of the Beast chip where they scan you when you go through the door. Bing! All of this is publicly admitted now. That's the great thing about right now, people. I'm sorry if it scares you. Don't let it scare you. Do not let it scare you. There's a difference between being a coward, fearful, cowering person and recognizing clear and present danger and changing your behavior because you recognize the danger. That's what's coming. You got to get prepared for it. Hopefully in like 2 months, we all just laugh it off. Like, oh, y'all remember that time we thought the world was going to end? They had the COVID ID, whatever, hopefully that happens. And maybe they'll back down if they see people preparing for a long-term engagement to stand down them trying to bribe you into taking their cure. That's what we have to do. But yeah, they can destroy any field they want anytime. It doesn't really matter. Obama passed that law, right? He passed the NDAA where it said everything you own belonged to them. Your car, your house, your crops, your land, your shoes, your socks, your gold, your silver. And if you don't know from that you are a slave, then I really don't even know what else to say. But then again, I guess a slave you still kind of care for. Like I said, slave got universal health care. We ain't got that. Slaves had shacks that were theirs. We don't even have that. And when you realize you're just merely a commodity, you need to act like you're a commodity that doesn't want to be a commodity. When you realize you're a gorilla, a monkey in the zoo, and they're only feeding the zoo just enough to keep the animals in the cage fighting each other because the billionaires around the world find it interesting to see everybody fighting with the police and with each other, and poor whites and poor blacks and Christians and Muslims. When y'all see that, when you stop reacting to what happened and you start asking, why is this happening? Use a little critical thought and stop doing your consent that requires it to happen. Don't react when it's happened 1,000 times. Don't do the reaction you did those 1,000 times because obviously somebody's trying to control you. Control, the only reason to hide them. What are you hiding, Jonathan? This is cool. How do you get your screen like this? Oh, Kelly, it's a OBS. OBS. I have a paid one, but you can do a free one. And that really don't cost much. Just get, I use XSplit, but there's free OBS that you can get and just do a green screen. I like this because it's a little more fun. It's a little more interesting, I think. It means I can kind of act like a banker and take people into false realities and show pictures and stuff like that. My ancestors wrote books and the Vatican took all of them. I want my heritage. Exactly, Helene, and that's the point. And this is how we have to speak. We need to know what the Aborigines knew. We need to know all the things that the Greeks knew. We need to know all the things the Native Americans had. We need to know everything from the Mayans. We need to know all the things from Prussia. We need to know all the things that Germany wrote down. Right? All of our ancestors found it so important to write down things that nobody could read at the time. And they did that for you. It's a human rights violation and criminal to keep that from Susan, Kelly, Jennifer, Jonathan, Victoria, and Patricia. Why 4GS is the second largest employer in the world, privatized military killers. Or G4, I don't know what G4S is. Thank you, Victoria Rupp. I'm not sure what that is, but if they are the second largest employer of the world's privatized military killers, I would say, outside of me even knowing what G4S is, if you live on a planet where the leaders feel that they need militaries more than share the land with the people, if they feel that they need militaries so vicious that they can't just be conscripts, but they have to be privatized and paid very, very well to murder other people, if the world's government and leaders believe in that, none of them are sentient. None of them. The system is not for you. The system is murderously bloody, and when Christ comes back, or Buddha, or Shiva, or whoever comes back, they're going to just take everybody out. They're just going to drop another asteroid in the ocean, give everybody a nice big tsunami to suck on. Because I know at that point we need to cool down, and they cannot let that type of psychotic genetics into space. And it's not for the leaders, that's for us. Because they only do it because we consent to it. They get our manufacturer consent and we consent to it. Because largely we're emotional and we need to stop that. All right. Harvard in conjunction with China on the Sun Project. Oh, what is that? Kentucky Fried Mama. One is bravery and one is cowardice. That's right. And we got to stop being cowards. That's all, Kentucky Fried Mama. We have to stop being cowards. We have to stop acting like we're cowards. We got to stop going for the little guy. Stop going for the police. Stop going for Homeland Security. Stop going for the military. Stop going for poor whites. Stop going for poor blacks. Stop playing poor immigrants and focus on somebody that actually has power. Ever. It's a Friday. It's a Freedom Friday. And there's no way we will ever get freedom acting like we're cowards. We some damn gorillas, man. Not muscle. Not muscle. You could eat healthy food. You could stand up against the... Once again, don't hate the players, hate the game. You know why? Because everybody in the game is a player. Everybody's playing. And you can hate the players all you want. That's what the game wants you to do. If they wanted the police to stop shooting poor people, they would have changed that a long time ago. That is not their intent. Their intent is they want to keep the zoo profitable, and the zoo is only profitable if the zookeeper comes in every now and then with a gun and shoots an animal. Because obviously that's what the audience wants, because the audience responds instead of shutting down the zoo. Think about that. It's Friday. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. For the love of bananas, please, please stop acting bananas. Stop acting bananas. For the love of money, realize they printed bananas. This is Gerard. I gotta go. Y'all have a great day. Love y'all to death. Hashtag that zoo life is not the life that you want. Stop that. Y'all have a good weekend. Bye-bye. This is Gerard. I gotta go. Free the people. Do you wanna free the people from the bottom?